The Nameless were creatures found throughout the galaxy that hunted Force users, much like the Terrantotics during the Old Republic. The beast gave a Jedi or even a Sith a terrible death. If you survived, the story that you would tell those who would listen almost sounded like a campsite story, because you wouldn't be able to describe what was actually attacking you. The Nameless were referred to as Eaters of the Force. The closer a Nameless was to a Force user, the greater the effect would be on them. From madness, hallucinations, nullifying the Force, and of course death, which resulted in a lifeless husk voided of the Force. The Nameless were from the planet simply known as X, which was located far out in wild space. The Nameless had a very powerful species in its ranks, and it was named the Great Leveler. Grandmaster Yoda discovered this threat, and it was enough to issue the recall signal. According to current records, the only other time this was used was Order 66. Sometime around 400 to 380 BBY, a cult built around the belief of destroying the Force, because they believed the Force was something that needed to be freed from the beings who wielded such power, and they needed to be relieved of their gifts. This cult located an egg from planet X. This egg hatched a nameless creature, but one unique in size and color. Its abilities were the same as its fellow Nameless, but more powerful. It would be called the Great Leveler. The cult unleashed the Leveler on Jedha, where the creature rained havoc to free the Holy City from its Jedi abusers. It is unknown if the cult or Jedi did this, but eventually the Great Leveler was frozen on planet Ryston for several hundred years until Marchion Ro, the leader of the Nihil, located him and unleashed the creature once more against the Jedi. Grandmaster Yoda, during the time of the High Republic, felt the Force needed him to take a sabbatical away from the Jedi Council. Yoda felt the Force needed him somewhere else in the galaxy. Yoda would join the ranks of the Starhopper, an academic ship for Padawans. During his time with the Padawans, the Force guided him ever closer to the front lines, the war against the Nihil. Yoda would discover a Nameless control rod in a storage crate inside of a ship controlled by the leader of the Nihil. Although Yoda did not know what he now possessed, he knew it to be what the Force was guiding him to. Yoda would cross paths with Elder Chomak, who possessed knowledge of the control rod. However, he would not give Yoda the information unless he went with him in secret. Yoda agreed, but this left a devastating effect on the Jedi Order, as they believed Yoda died in the war, or missing in action. This created even more tension in the war against the Nihil, forcing the Jedi into desperation. While Yoda was traveling with Elder Chomak, the Jedi Order went into a temporary disarray. The Nihil unleashed the Great Leveler, a member of the Nameless species, but one even more terrifying than his counterparts. Several battles ensued, and still the Jedi Order assumed Yoda was killed. The Jedi also lost Starlight Beacon during this time, which revealed even more Nameless to the ranks of the Nihil, a total of 8. Yoda would return from his journey and revealed himself at a battle on Corellia, where several Jedi were being routed by the Nihil. Yoda's entrance into the battle turned the tides quickly for a Jedi victory. Yoda, however, was not alone. He was accompanied by a hooded figure that repeated a Nameless nursery rhyme. Yoda stated that there is much to discuss without ever stating what needed to be explained. Yoda activated the recall beacon, the same beacon used during Order 66. Yoda asked all Jedi to return to Coruscant for an emergency debriefing. To win this war, Yoda stated, "Forge our path into the future, guided by the secrets of our past, we will be."